Hey everybody, day 35, 36, 37 of having a beard. The days all blend together in my life some days. But I'm here to talk about some things that are pretty interesting. Quick update for the jugging case of Mr. whatever this boy's name is. I almost don't feel like giving him any more than he's already been given, but his bond was lowered recently from 200,000 to 100,000. Why? Mr. Harrell was seen in a video surveillance camera body slamming a woman so he could steal $4,200 from her that she had withdrawn to pay for a trip home to Vietnam, while also she is a widow and the sole earner for her family when she has like two kids who are still teenagers. But his bond was lowered from 200,000 to 100,000. Mr. Joseph Harrell's bond was lowered because his lawyer, how did this boy afford a lawyer? Asked the judge to lower his bond by half because, oh well, he can't afford to pay $200,000 bond. Now, if I remember correctly, you only have to pay 10% of your bond, if I remember correctly. So, if he can come up with $10,000, he should be fined. Now, it says here on the Fox News article, prior to the violent robbery, documents showed that the suspect was already out on bond for unlawful carrying a gun, where his bond was also lowered from 40,000 to 30,000. Now, if I remember correctly, in the last time I spoke about this article, this guy had more than one charge against him. Yet somehow he keeps getting out of jail and committing worse crimes. Is he going to have to be murder somebody before, they throw a $600,000 bond at him, see if you get out for that one? This is just insane. This bail reform, this restorative justice, this, well, he's black and there's no daddy in the family, so we have to pity him. It's disgusting. How many more times is this kid going to commit a crime before he seriously kills somebody? Then, only then, will the judges and the police and the community go, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, we had no idea. Yeah. It just angers me. Now, the funny thing is, if this boy gets out of jail, some people in the Asian community may end up making him look like somebody out of a Fist of the North Star after Kenshiro's been done with them for a few seconds. And heads exploding and all that good stuff. Not in Minecraft, though. Only in anime. Okay, now the next thing. Texas man fatally shoots himself after living with a corpse for months. Texas man shot himself after authorities entered his home. Generally, I thought this would be, more of a Florida thing. Florida's got all the weird shit going on. But I don't need to read this whole article. But for some reason, a group of Texas police decided to raid the home of a man who they won't even give the guy's name. It's like, we're not going to give the guy's name or anything. Neighbors had contacted the Harris County Sheriff's Office on Saturday evening about concerns that they hadn't seen one of the men who lived at the home for months, said Deputy Thomas Gilliand, an agency spokesperson. At the home in West Houston, deputies did notice that there were a lot of flies and a bad odor coming from one end of the house. Well, that's no justification to just knock down the door. After entering the home, the deputies heard I'm sorry. The deputies heard a shot and found the body of a man with a self-inflicted gunshot wound, Gillian said. In another adjoining room, they did find the body of a male, also the body of another male. I'm reading it my way. that had been severely decomposed, citing the time frame of at least several months. He said an autopsy was planned on the decomposed body. Investigators believe the men lived together, but said they were trying to determine other details about the relationship. Both men were believed to be in their 60s. Their names have not been released by authorities. Okay. I could make a bunch of certain type of jokes, but I'm not going to do that. That's just sick. I have no idea what's going on here. Oy vey. Oy vey. Oy vey. That's a trip, man. I can't even. What were you doing with a dead body in the motherfucking house that goddamn long? Wait, come on! That doesn't look good! That just does not look good. It looks very, very creepy. Like Night of the Living Dead 3 or something. Let's just put it that way. I don't want to go any further than that. Okay. Let's get on to something a little more cheerful. Donald Trump and the accusations, the so-called indictment, Alvin Bragg. Look, this is just ridiculous. It's the same thing that we've been doing for the past 5-6 years with Trump, if not more. Tick, 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 tick. Tick, 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 tick. Remember Cenk Uygur always saying, the indictments, they're coming. The walls are closing in. Oh, this trial will have him. Oh, these charges will get him this time, goes Cenk Uygur. And then nothing happens. And Cenk just moves up the timeline a little bit more. Tick, 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 tick. Tick, 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 tick. Shut the fuck up, Cenk. Okay, look, I don't think Trump's going to get indicted. I mean, he pulls the biggest goofball stunt on the planet and wins. Oh, guys, I'm going to be indicted and arrested on Tuesday of next week. Here we are, Saturday of the same week, and the man ain't been frog marched in handcuffs yet. Oopsie, I wonder why that's not happening. Other than the fact that the indictment and the attempted charges against Trump have got more holes in them than OnlyFans subreddit. I mean, come on, Jesus Christ. You literally had to change the severity of the charges in order to get them past the statute of limitations. That's just bullshit. And the fact that Alvin Bragg is a Soros-funded DA, and that's not good, but to be quite brutally honest, knowing what I know about politicians, does it really matter? What matters is the fact that somebody wanted this trial to come about. So if somebody put in a call to Alvin Bragg and said, look, throw your political career up against the wall after throwing it up against a fan and seeing what sticks on the wall. So that's what's going to happen to Alvin Bragg. He's going to get shot to pieces after all of this. If this does not go through, if he can't get an indictment, to get charges, to get Trump frog marched in or put in handcuffs or agreeing to surrender somewhere. And if Trump does it, it's going to make him look like a martyr. And if Bragg loses, then it's going to just empower Trump 10 times over. Already the media that has been trying to soft block Trump by not talking about him now has to talk about him every other effing day. Everything that Trump posts about this, it just keeps him in the news cycle. It increases his street cred. This is just ridiculous. You guys are playing into Trump's hands again. And this ain't even 4D chess at this point. You're just dumb as fuck. I just can't get this sometimes. I'm like, really, guys? Huh? You ain't figured this one out yet? I don't know. It's just crazy. It really is just crazy. So now on to the last thing. And I have to admit, I've been kind of wanting to talk about this for a little bit, but I haven't had much time. But now I feel I can bring it up. Ana Kasperian's magical pivot dance. I'm sure everybody else has seen this over the last couple of weeks. Anna seeming to not argue for conservatism, but at least logic and common sense. And now I'm sure everybody knows that, I want to say it was Thursday, she posted something that basically along the line said, well, look, respect me for being a woman. Quit calling me a birthing person, person with a uterus, person who menstruates. Now, Anna's been defending the trans community and all of the trans rights and activism crap now for over a year. So what in the hell changed? Well, when it's your pussy on the line, when it's your ass up against the wall, and when you are looking at having your precious rights stripped of you, because trans women is women too, maybe, just maybe, Anna's ass finally woke up and said, what the fuck have I been supporting? Now, there's also been several videos where she's practically arguing with Chank for a more logical stance on things. Now, Hard Bastard is like, oh, she's pivoting, it means something. I'll be honest with you. Chank and Anna and TYT in general have been showing over the past couple of years that they're not as successful as they think they are, but they're watching some of these lefties that are bringing in right-wing people or people who are right of center and discussing things with them, and they see that works. So I think what happened is, since Anna's actually a journalist and she actually looks into some things, they're using Anna to pivot. Anna is genuinely pivoting for the sake of keeping TYT afloat. That's all. She hasn't suddenly started lurching slowly to the center. No, she's pivoting because it makes for good drama on TYT. It makes for good discussion. If both of them were just sitting up there, yeah, I agree with you, Chank. Yeah, I agree with you, Anna. Anna, you're totally right. Yes, Chank, you're totally right. Yes, buddy, you're totally right. Yes, training chick, you're totally right. Yes, black predator, you're absolutely right. Everything you say is true and right. That gets boring as fuck. And nobody wants to hear that after a while. You already know what Chank's going to say. You already know what Anna's going to say. You already know they're going to totally agree. You know that Chank is going to do his usual puppetless puppet show. But to think that Anna really has shifted to the right or starting to shift to the right or starting to pivot, I don't buy it unless she's secretly pregnant or she's getting or either her husband's turning conservative and she's getting a whole lot more dick lately. Dick and being pregnant can really change your opinion on things. Trust me. I've seen it happen. I'm going to write this up right quick. Yes, I'm smoking on video. Oy vey. Oy vey. Now, if Anna really is pivoting and she's getting ready to leave TYT, I don't blame her. I mean, she's got a job literally as a journalism teacher at a University of Berkeley offshoot. I'm pretty sure at some point her students and others are watching her videos on TYT and going, this doesn't look like real journalism. What the fuck? So, we'll see. I'm not really all that much worried about it, but, if she pivots, fine. If she doesn't pivot, fine. I mean, it's not going to make me watch TYT any more than I already do. And thank you, Hard Bastard, for watching most of TYT for us, so I don't have to. All right, everybody. Take care, and hopefully I'll have another video out today. Bye-bye.